Game 1. 2-banger series today? Absolutely. All right. And I'm not tweeting out all these because Twitter fucking hates me in the algorithm just because all I do is self-promo. So, yeah, we're doing LCS playoffs and NACL playoffs. I have to do LCS playoffs because we see 100 Thieves play soon. So I'm just doing both. Anyway, these games were fucking short. All right. Game 1. Here's my issue. I think C9 has 2 winning sides. This side can pressure. It's a decent group. They like pairing Lee Sin with Senna Kench. It really frees up Blabber to be a playmaker. And my issue here is that I think 100 Thieves actually should have blinded Talia here. I know I think this draft's like a weird setup. Like they need to get rid of Talia somehow because like the way that this game went is Talia. I really like this with Talia, right? But if you give away all this and then you give Hui, it's really tough to beat Senna Kench Hui with this. It's still doable, but like, I think it's kind of hard. So for me, like, I think maybe if they wanted to do this instead of a Nico ban, they could have. I think there's a way where you can manipulate the draft. Like if you plan on taking Talia, you can drop the Callista. And if you're first picking not, I'm okay with that too. I would have preferred to see 100 Thieves go for something like that. Banning Ori to pick Huizin. Yeah, I mean that too, but if you want to first pick not, that's fine. Because like Ori goes over to this C9. I'm okay denying C9 Ori too. Yeah, I don't know. I also just like I don't like Aatrox here. Like I feel like Aatrox is already kind of hard into this, and then you get 3 picks to really respond to it. So that's why I'm kind of trying to think of a way to change this pick. I think changing this pick would have done a couple favors. Anyway. Moving forward. I don't think we had pauses today. Alright, let's see what 100 Thieves looks like in scrims. Oh, it's playoffs? It's playoffs, guys. We don't go over 2x, okay? Until we deem the game's over, alright? We're gonna not go over 2x for a while. Really like this from C9. Like they know that 100 Thieves lane can approach, so really like how they play that one out. And then this first gank mid was just kind of fucking nasty. Probably hurts 100 Thieves over C9. I mean, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how much it matters. I'm kind of curious. Like, I want to ask pros about it. Just because, like, EU gave such a fucking stink about it, right? Alright, so Jojo just hits this and he's the fucking GOAT. This is well played by Blabber. I mean, it just guarantees the kill. I'd be curious too, yeah. I mean, I'm just interested. I really like how River actually pulled this. He saved Quid the cannon. It's really nice. But already, like, River's behind. Blabber assisted on a kill, and he's still ahead in camps. Because River had to spend time here, so... it's really, really, really well done by C9. I think the pathing towards top, too, it's mostly, like... The set of Kench is pretty self-sufficient, and in isolation, that lane loses. And then if you path towards top, you can, like, win the 2v2 early on. TF, it's a bit cooldown reliant. But, like, TF should have some lane advantage over the Aatrox, so... I think that, like, the way that this game set up for C9's early game was pretty good, too. Like, you'd have mid-push early. So C9 just win all 3 lanes with Blabber Lee. Historically, that's a pretty winning formula for C9. I had 100 Thieves 3-1 going into this match. I really thought that, like, their mid to late game would be fine. It was not. And Quiz just dead. I'm not going to use... I will not... You know what, guys? I'm not even going to use playoffs results to justify why I had JoJo first team mid and third in MVP voting. We're not even going to use playoff votes to justify that. All right? Imagine, though, if Quid wins MVP. I don't know, man. I know Quid had a really good split. I don't want to take anything away from him, especially regular season, but I found it like really weird, like the amount of folks were like he's just the best mid, right? This is a really good trap by 100 Thieves. I really like this. I thought like going through the tape, JoJo for me was still the best mid, and including them MVP voting, but he mattered a lot this year. This is a really, really good play. That was almost a sweet guess from Quid too. Best of one sample size. I mean, this doesn't matter. The votes are already in. I think for me, like, I thought mid was a little bit more of a problem than jungle. I think the lane's a little bit more of a problem. Less games skew the vote. Oh, for sure. For sure. As a 14 game sample size to go off of, you know. It's kind of shite. I mean, I think there's like a legitimate argument for yeah, so John, okay. So here River shows mid. Once he shows mid, it's just a freebie for Blabber. Like Sniper popped alt. And for me, this is like a young mistake by Sniper. Like him popping alt up here, he should know that we sin. Like after that grub, he's either doing his Krugs or he's base, right? You're pretty much coin flipping what Lee did. And given like where he's at on the map and the items that he has, he's not in base, guys. He's doing his Krugs. Like he reset to contest the grubs. So for me, that's actually a pretty big oops from Sniper. If River's going mid, he's got to play out this lane differently. Like he doesn't have jungle help, and so he gives over a freebie. Good song. Yeah, it's like right now, C9 just 2K golded. It's just a simple 2K golded for C9. Like all their lanes are winning at this point, and now in isolation they can win harder. And Blabber still gets to work towards the top side, which again I think is really good identification from C9 about what they want to do. Like, I think as this patch has been a little bit more figured out, this is actually something that could be really nice for C9 throughout playoffs. Like, I think Senna, like, you can play towards Senna, but I think it's much better to play away from Senna. And I think there are some top lane champions that are a little bit better to play towards. Like in the meta right now, like Renekton's kind of back. The TF has a really nice gank assist, and this is a good matchup for him. I think this core is really good for C9. I think we've always enjoyed Vulcan on the Naut or TK, which like each really pair well with Senna. And Berserker Senna was much, much, much better than the first time he showed in LCS. So I will say this line is a little bit easier to farm souls in, but Berserker did a really nice job of farming souls. Where we at right here? We do not crack 2x until the game is over. As again, like right now, like C9 can just kind of control their lanes and keep on winning. This was oh yeah, this was the tragedy. I mean, first off, So Fudge got top in to set
Holy
this one
shit,
up.
he's hot.
Hey, it's Astronauts. Thanks for the tier 1s for when I see you. So yeah, just JoJo flash commit to make sure that the chain's there. Just get a free pick. Set River a little bit further behind. It's not really too much else to do. And then this is kind of where the game goes like really sideways. I'll be honest, I don't mind this from Sniper. I mean, they're playing towards a weak lane. And they are throwing everything out of the Toad, but if you throw it onto Zerker, then you get in trouble, right? I think the oopsie here, I mean, this is just really nice. I think the oopsie here was... Hold on. Let me see this one in full. I think Ayla goes a wee bit early. I think it's trying to get people under turret. Hold on. Let's see where Dredge Line's at. I would have started with Hook. I know he's like trying to move Vulcan so that he can hook Berserker, but it's not quite in range. I think it could have worked actually. I think if he leads with Hook here, and like maybe Vulcan could take a tower shot or not. If not, I would have ulted Berserker to try and draw out the feast, like the eat early. Because if they get that early, they can at least turn everything on the one target, you know? Like you'd probably get the double flash. I think by waiting to use Hook so long. Oh, he uses the Hook to cancel the W. And then he just dies. The root's really good from Berserker too. Cubby had a really nice call where it was like a point blank W. I think once that hits, it's kind of hard. And then this is where the game is like just fucking Omega doomed. Because now we're looking at 3.5k gold lead for C9. And they just won plays on two sides of the map. Sniper gave up a lot for that. It's like Sniper's dropping. He dropped 2 plates and 2 waves for that. So now like top's just actually over. Yeah, I don't know if the Q to save W is like worth like the right move there. I think if like you Q to start, I mean, they can kind of like wombo away, but at least they would like retreat in the Sniper. The more I think about it, the more the play's not there. So yeah. The play just wasn't there. This team does not go quietly into the night, you know? Blind Aatrox with the Smolder bot. Can't have Southern Strength. Or it can't have no Southern Strength. Yeah, I agree. That's why I was looking for like ways to blind Talia. This is a nice wall from JoJo. Like River goes in and yoinks it, which is big because it buys Smolder 5 minutes. And honestly, like unironically, this game looks pretty bad. Like as a whole, this is the most winnable game for 100 Thieves. This wasn't a great fight here from C9. I think that what should have happened here is that Blabber, so he kicks River back. Like he kicks Flash him back and he's dead. I think Blabber should have... They needed to make a play on Sniper. Like Sniper's isolated and then everyone's walled off. So I think Blabber burning this is just not worth. Especially with River having Flash. I mean, Sniper, yes, he has Flash as well. But I think if you kick him in, then he can Flash out and you can actually chase him down. So I think Blabber like should play to peel Sniper and just protect the Senna, TF, Talia. As long as you protect these guys, you're good. This fight gets a little bit shady though when he kicks him in, and all of a sudden, like, yeah, I mean River's got to flash out, but still, I think that's what made this fight a little bit shady. This is big for 100 Thieves. Nice sidestep here by Fudge on the Dredge one. Honestly, this game state's like not terrible right now for 100 Thieves because they can at least like have Meech catch. And both sides, like, they were catching both sides, right? It's like, the post play for that is not too bad for 100 Thieves either. Like, they get the Herald off it, so they're at least getting a little bit of gold. Jojo gets bought all the way in. Yeah, of course, nice for him. Oh. Sorry, I still have a wee bit of coffee left, but we might be doing a little bit of yawning tonight. I got good rest, and I got a good workout in today, which is good. I need to work out again tomorrow, though. Cena has access to jungle camps. They're just able to get out thanks to phase rush and passive, which is kind of nice. But they do get his flash, so I think extending for that jungle camp, like, it's something, but not worth the flash. Like, still, it's like a good example of how hard this game state is. This is interesting, I think. Like, by doing this, C9's just power playing for the top side of the map, right? And this is where I really feel like 100 Thieves should have played for the second Drake instead of the Baron. I think this is the moment. I mean, everything just whiffs here. Man. I don't know, man. Like, 100 Thieves just, like, won early. Like, it's just, like, no other way to say it, you know? And that's a really nice kick on the quid. Like, Blabber does a nice job of getting in here. Like, we're just going early, you know? Like, we just don't need to go like this. It's really well done by Blabber, but I think this was really early. And this is where I really think the 100 Thieves just should have taken the Drake. Yeah, you sack. So, off this, if you take the Drake, you're likely signing up to sack this, and given the lead, probably, like, one lane. It's like one inhib, but honestly, going down an inhib this game, you have Hui Smolder. I don't think it matters. And you don't win on sides, like, I mean, I don't want to get too, like, LS build here, but I actually think it's, like, it's really not the worst thing in the world. And, like, you have two dragons, so in theory, you're buying Smolder another 5 minutes, and there are a couple fights later on in this game where you can see Smolder puts down some reasonable damage, so I just think going here was a mistake. So I missed second knockup on Fudge, and the flash was just for naught. Yeah, so, like, they don't get Drake or Baron. If they get Drake, unironically, it saves themselves, like, about, like, they probably give over, like, 1k less gold in the grand scheme of things, and they buy 5 minutes. It's big. C9 did a good job second jungle. Yeah, I mean, you have to, like, if you're going to play out 3 lanes like this and, you know, keep on building your lead. But, yeah, I think C9 did a nice job. I mean, C9 played well today, right? I think that, I mean, I still think that, like, there are a couple moments, like, even like that Drake fight, like, I don't think C9 played that the cleanest. I think that, like, Fudge kind of sacked the angle that he had to set up for that. And, like, Blabber, I feel like kicked the wrong person. So I think that, like, the C9 team, like, there's still some improvements to be made, which, like, I mean, that's fine. I don't want to, like, they won, right? I don't want to nitpick it too much, but I don't know. I don't think this is, like, the, like, all right, C9 is winning LCS after this game, like, series, right? Never break the chain. Yeah, like, this skirmish, like, you can see what Smolder kind of gets done here. Like, that Q, Jesus Christ, it's so fucking filthy, man. Like, Meech actually, like, does some work, you know? And the way Smolder can hold the line. So, again, like, I think taking that Dragon, setting back the soul point, saving yourself 1k gold, all would have been really useful. And this is just, yeah. I mean, Sniper, like, I said, like, going into the series and, like, typing up, right? Like, you can't punch a Sniper. You will go from waves, like, you just can't go for. And that's one of them. That's one of them. And they get they took away the blue buff off that too, so that's a bit of an expensive death. I will say this isn't all. Like, given that blue buff spawning, I don't know. It's like map wide from 100 Thieves. Like, he doesn't need to catch that wave there at all. That wave like Sniper can catch that wave here if he's patient, you know, and they can play as a team for this. So it's just a little bit of impatience coming out. There's no reason to die there, so that's an oops. All right, folks. No, we're gonna still 2x, 2x for playoffs. I know, like, this port from Fudge, like, looks kind of meh. I don't mind it too much. Let me go back a little bit. I mean, if we want to get a little bit, you know, pilled here, we could legitimately have... We could have Vulcan, like, actually pushing bot. No, there's just no reason to let up a hold on mid. And, like, Vulcan being group means that they can't, like, flash not R anyone. Like, oh, this is such a good sequence. Jojo was trying to knock River in the other way. If this knocks him the other way, he hits this, and it's a one-shot. It's actually sick as hell. Like, look at the poke coming out from Berserker. Like, that's so nice. Ayla takes a one-way trip. The eat gets used. Really good target. Yeah. I mean, again, if 100 Thieves had... If they had the second Infernal, it wouldn't have been so... Would have been nice for them. Now they're down. I mean, this is kind of nasty. That's a good call from Fudge. Like, yeah. I will say Sniper, like, doesn't necessarily really want treads this game, because, like, the only thing that you really have to deal with tread-wise, I mean, it's Talia E, a Kench, 3-stack Q, which doesn't apply if you're, just doesn't apply to an Aatrox, and then gold card. And obviously, like, steel caps are hella value against 3. 3 champs instead of like 3 abilities, so. But it does make him rather vulnerable to gold cards, and honestly, it's like another reason that I actually really like this setup for C9, the fact that like, it feels pretty good to be fudged this game. You got a good lane matchup. The other team doesn't want to go treads. Like Xin does, because he can use his R to get out of some of the AD damage, but Not does too. That's interesting. I mean, cannot wait for my boy to watch FlyQuest AoE. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. This is what we call C9 has reached critical mass. I gotta say, I got 9 games to go over at 9. I said I'm gonna be probably streaming for 4 hours here, man. It's gonna be late. I'm gonna try not to make this too late. I kind of want to talk about the matchups tomorrow as well. For the record, but if people are hanging out now, I'm expecting a FlyQuest win tomorrow. I haven't decided game score. And then for challengers, I actually think it's gonna be a really interesting day of challengers, just because Disguised and TLC really scaled in the back half of the split. I wonder what happens in a prep best of 3, you know? That's a feels bad, man. That's feels bad, man. That's one way to end the game fast, you know? That's too bad, too. Like, Smolder's still doing some work, but, yeah. They got Flash, or a Cleanse earlier, and then Fudge Ball, which is it off. Fudge had a nice game. I didn't know NACL was on weekdays, too. I missed Dark Wings. It is for playoffs. It's after LCS. That's too bad. If I will say I've been like vocal about, I think the LCS, rating LCS players and Challengers League has been a really good thing. Like helping the players build up their brands good. I think that we should have rated LCS Challengers on day 1 of playoffs. I think I was a little bit of a missed opportunity on our part to promote our league. Would have been nice to like just have the LCS boost just for that, and then also to give a lot of people just like, oh yeah, playoffs are going on, and still after, you know, still after LCS. All right. I have mixed feelings about this draft. Because, like, I really like this into this. I think that Aphelios Lulu, especially after the Lulu changes, should be able to pretty consistently win this. But 100 Thieves takes no hard CC to actually pressure Lucian. Like, again, this is a game where I think something like Talia would end up going really hard here. This is something where, like, I mean, I think Kindred is necessary because it kind of saves it and scales off with Lulu, but who's tanking this? I for real, who's tanking this? Like, how do you deal with this? Like, I think this is, like, given this core, you almost have to find a way to, like, run a Poppy here instead of Kindred. Yeah, this was a weird draft. Because, like, for me, like, Poppy, you could at least get, you could stymie this and then find a way to, like, get Nico out or save stuff. Or, like find numbers advantages. Also, the blind Aatrox, like, I think Renekton was a pretty smart man from C9, just given that it is a sniper blind that he's capable of playing and it interacts decently well with, like, what's showing. He gets stymied a little bit by Lucian Nami, but it would be able to actually, like, hold the door for this, right? And, like, give setup to this. Also, I don't love Ahri right now if Ahri has to be primary engaged. Like, last season, this draft is unironically okay because Everfrost fucking exists. Like, this time around, Ahri really doesn't have anyone to play off of charms with, you know? Like, we just don't have setup for the Ahri. So that's a bit of a bummer, you know? And we took Ahri, like, without Vi, and then we didn't find a good pairing. Like, Ahri Wukong, also a decent pairing. This is like I want to recon this game. I want something. It just ends up, like, 100 Thieves has no engage. Everything they have is to catch. And then, like, C9's mid game is really good here. And they just hit it really hard. Also, the Jax value in a game where you have no engage, Jax value for me goes way up. So yeah, I didn't love the setup for 100 Thieves just because I don't think that Ari like had help, and I like Aphelios Lulu a lot. I feel like it wants people to frontline though. Like it needs some sort of frontline to function. And 100 Thieves ended up having none of that. Like their savior is Lamb's Respite. And there's a lot of good ways that C9 can one-shot like after, like around Lamb's Respite, and then also a lot of good ways that hold on, what was I saying? They can pull it, right? So like, I mean, if you get Nico Wukong, Nami in like mid game, like Lamb's Respite doesn't matter, you still get one tapped, you know? Also, like, they have ways to pull it. Like, the Lucian Nami, you can bleed out a Lamb's Respite sometimes. It's really handy. So we're watching a lot of bot lane. The Lulu changes, I think, really help with this matchup. They gave, like, the Q pass-through does more damage. River burns so much time here. Alright, so they get JoJo Flash in the end, but Blabber 4 camps, then runs bot. Meech can't even burn Flash. They just didn't get this wave in. I think C9 making sure they played for early brush control bot ended up being really big. Just because they had their jungler working their way that way. Whereas like River working his way top for me was... honestly, I know that affecting mid's a big deal. I think that the early red buff to affect mid might have been part of the plan, but it's a little bit weird because I don't think Kindred can really impact the Jax. Yeah, if Jax goes in, burns Z, like you can kill him. He's still pretty tanky though. He took fleet. It's gonna be healthy. Like that's definitely a landing rune, right? Oh my goobers, he lost it too. Hey, what's up? MEOH Ice. So yeah, I mean the Kindred's already like really far behind. Wukong scales too, like really well. This was really nice from River. That's just good knowledge of knowing that you can pull that off. The DMAT from Ari makes sure this gets all the way in. So it was a good play. Again, like Kindred's behind the curve, and once Wukong gets going, I think Wukong is a big problem. She's smited blue, yeah. And Fudge got in a recall, and Sniper just doesn't have items yet. Fudge is basing and TPing back. He has mass items over Sniper. He was able to base now, and he's going to get a really big buy, so that's nice. So Dragon's hanging for C9. Their bot lane's up. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. Berserker had himself a day and really got the best of Meech here. And it's wild because like I could see a world where like Meech sneaks into the All-Pro voting. Which like people wouldn't have predicted at the start of the year, but like I mean, even the consideration of that, like what Berserker's doing in this game, like imagine if the roles were flipped, right? Like we'd expect Berserker to like be in All-Pro voting and like Meech not. Like if this was the type of chasm that in a matchup that I feel is advantageous for the Aphelios Lulu, if this thing was opened up, like that'd be against, you know, Berserker, that'd be crazy. But no, this is Berserker from last year. In terms of like, I don't know. I really felt like Berserker and JoJo were like the two most valuable people to have in the LCS, given how good they were compared to the competition. I said that a lot coming into this year. And it's for reasons like this. I mean, JoJo, like, just fucking blasted mid game 1. And then game 2, he just had Berserker doing this, you know? Like, this is what we've come to expect from these players. And, like, they showed up and showed out today. I don't know if I endorse the Shiv start or not. I don't know the reasoning for Shiv besides the fact it's just cheaper. I'm not a huge fan of Shiv. If you're this far along and your enemy's going Kraken and you can beat him there, I think it's like equally valuable. Obviously, it's not the Lucian build we always see. This was the energized one, where a lot of it's about like abusing first strike and the like burst damage you can get down because he went for this RFC and Cyclo Sword. So hold on. Okay, so this was actually curious because a lot of times, like, you can use jungle prio to hit mid and then walk, but Vulcan was walking for grubs, and he uses support walk to actually hit mid. And then he cuts off 100 Thieves to the bot side. Quid doesn't commit to this, and he TPs late to the play. And it's just Aphelios, this one shot. It's really easy given the lead. This flash from Berserker is so fucking insane. It's actually it's such a crazy flash from Berserker. Because Quid's repositioning to make sure that hits and he flashes just right over it. Oh, you saw him grabbing dinner together after the games? That's nice. So Quid has to flash to finish Berserker. That's really nice from Quid here. It really is nice from Quid here, but like he's still in Narnia. Fiber comes in with all. He's the Kong, so he gets him in the wave. And Quid's in Narnia. He's going to execute to Vulcan, which I think is the right move. But I pretty much like because C9 had the play and they started it. And I like this flash from Berserker. He goes down, but for me it's almost worth it because he buys so much time that, you know, they end up winning out of the play in the long haul. It's really big. Yeah, the charm was really nice. It was a good reposition of the charm. I mean, I don't think Quid played that bad by any means. I just think that because of Berserker's flash, he was forced to extend that far to pick up the kill. And that's why he went down in the end. Like, sheesh. I mean, this is like the Lucian Nami nightmare where you get this far ahead. And, like, this is what the team, like, it's good at, is that you can blow people off the wave. Just, like, you just press R and then people have to leave, drop mid wave, right? And also, I like this draft because, like, I think something that Kelsey talks about a lot with LPL and how they play Lucian is that they usually pair it up with at least like a winning side. Because if you have winning side with Lucian, you can fog that side and then not only threaten what the power that Lucian brings you with pressing our mid, but then also threaten overload with that with your team. So I really like the Jax here in this draft because Jax should win sides. I think there's a lot of power in that. Hold on, this was... Brother River, no! River sends Ayla to the Shadow Realm. I don't know what Ayla did to him this morning, but it's tough. And then this is the perfect combo from Vulcan that's right after Lamb's Respite. So it's like a desperate Lamb's Respite to save Ayla, and it's just a fucking disaster. How much damage Burger would do if he went an item other than RFC this game? I mean, I have a bigger issue with Shiv than RFC, if I'm being honest. Where's my Kraken Slayer? I mean, yeah, this game's like just fucked from here. I will also say that I think Wukong... I know there are some mixed feelings on Wukong right now. I mean, one thing is for sure. I think Wukong is weaker early. Like, you don't get the same Sunder spike that you get. But, man, this champion, especially after the changes they made to his passive, he fucking scales into oblivion. Yeah, River's like, oh, goddamn, Ayla. Yeah, I mean, it's... I don't think they win no matter, like, how that fight goes. I don't exactly see how we got here. I mean, for me, overloading Quid River into the JoJo side makes sense. I don't know if they kill Jax, you know, especially after Jax just got a fucking triple. Oh, God. I'm trying to pick up on the minimap what happened bot. It was way too far up. Man. And Berserker's up 2 levels and like 60 creeps. God damn. See, Golden Glue helped Sniper with his runes before game 1? No? Was it on comms or like how? Was he like sitting behind him and just being like talking through it? Up with them? I mean, honestly, that is a lane matchup that I expect people to know. I mean, if you want to blind Aatrox, you've definitely faced TF at some point. Yeah. I mean, JoJo's trying to pog a little hard here. But it doesn't matter at this point. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I think if Sniper TPs right now, there's a play. I think right now, Sniper should be TPing because there's a wave right here. I guess Fudge responds and they don't want to bring both to the fight. And if you're 100 Thieves, like, it's pretty ugly right now. I mean, it's a really nice heal dash, and, like, they're definitely fishing. I mean, they just get cleaned the fuck up. How often is he getting the requisite hits to proc Kraken? I mean, that is a fair point. I mean, this game, I'm not on the Kraken train. I will say this game, I'm not on the Kraken train. But the Shiv RFC is kind of wild. This guy's playing TF. This for sure is not a Kraken game. This, like, old Lucian, this would be the Gale Force RFC angle for sure. You are correct. There is no frontline in this game, right? So, like, stuff like Kraken Navori, you don't get the same value in that unless, like, you know, you're hitting a fucking Nautilus, right? Sheesh. My boy just cooked him. Ava had wild growth. He just didn't feel comfortable walking through that choke. Damn, the empowered Blascone, though. Jesus. So I have a rule that we don't go... You gonna watch the VoDs? No, I'm watching yours tonight, Chad. Check the title. I got 9 games to go through. Congrats on the win, by the way. It was a banger series. I expected that one to be close. I had you guys 2-1. I mean, it doesn't matter what items you're building if you're this far ahead. Guys, the fabled Scrim Lucian arrived on stage. I mean, I think 100 Thieves are kind of chuckling. Like, they were chuckling after this. I don't know. It's going to be a tough turnaround for them. It's a quick turnaround, and you're going up against the champs of last year. We're trying to do the same thing that C9 did against them, which is kind of like, you know, start to save their season by taking down this young team. And that's the wild thing about C9. Like, I said in my tweet that I put out this morning, like, if C9 win today, the regular season, like, truly didn't matter. And they won today, and regular season truly didn't matter. Like, they're one win away from MSI. That's exactly where this team wants to be and where they need to be, given, like, the team that they have. That's pretty crazy. NRG looked probably worse than 100 Thieves last week. Yeah, NRG definitely have not been on their game. But it is still a team that, like, I mean, historically, I will say this team's shown up when it counts. That's, like, one thing I'll give them as a team. They showed up last year. The narrative they have last summer is that they beat the good teams and lost to the bad ones. And they've won. Like, everyone on that roster has won before. If they do it again, like, how many people are going to be super surprised, you know? Now, I would say gameplay-wise, I would be surprised. I would agree. But, oh, well played from Meech and Quid here. Yeah, I mean, you got to fish at this point. It's a nice save there from River. I mean, yeah, they have ball the fuck out. Game's over. That's Soul. Quid Deal held this game, not gonna lie. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think the comp's kind of tough again. Like, they just don't have frontline, and this Lucian got so far ahead that he melts everyone. JoJo moment. Nice charm from Quid. Doesn't matter. Sniper's like, we just got fucking bodied. Man, it's not tilt unless you let it be tilt. Game Fui. Switched up approach. I think these bends are fine. They do give away this. They take the rel so they can flex. Ahri not. See, like, for me, this is already a lot better setup for Ahri because you already have a really heavy CC lane. Like, everyone can help set up Ahri charms in this, right? I think when Ahri gets to playoff CC, like, that's where she's really OP. And that's why Everfrost Ahri was such a fucking problem. Because you would just reposition and get insta CC, right? Now, you have to reposition to play off your team CC, but there's a lot more CC that Ahri can play off in this draft. So I feel like this draft is much more well-equipped for Ahri to be successful, right? Now, that said, we have the Wombo knockup comp and a Sniper Rumble. I think 100 Thieves, they need damage from topside for this. Like, they do. Personally, I mean, like, from what I've seen Sniper play, I would have been okay with, like, letting him Gnar. I know that we have... I don't know if his Gnar's hit the LCS stage or not. His Gnar is decent. For me, like, what I want to do is... went Exodia. No, okay, so I was talking with Kelsey about this during the game. I wanted Kai'Sa to go poke. Oh, wait. No, it wasn't this game. It was the Challengers game. I think poke Kai'Sa here is, like, honestly, this is an all-in team, and they kind of need to, like, hit the all-in. I think that AP Kai'Sa, you can find the all-in. But if you're going to pick Rel Alistar, you kind of have to play through bot lane. Or you're playing, like, through mid or bot. You're leaving the Rumble on its own. If you do go with the Kai'Sa build that's, like, Miramana into AP, you are pretty useless until you get the second or third item in W Evolve. Like, you are really weak, and you're playing into Varus Not, which is a very strong lane that can punish. So, again, like, I think it's a case where you kind of have to influence mid a lot as 100 Thieves. Kaisa does nothing on hit this game anyway. I mean, the team's all in. She can follow up on the all in. She can reposition. You can do it with the poke Kaisa, I know. But like poking them down, force them to go into your engage could be good. Well, I mean, it's not for if you poke them down, they aren't forced to go into your engage. They're forced to walk away. Obviously, poke can be like valuable, right? I mean, I will say like my issue with this is that I think like the big thing that 100 Thieves should have done, like I get the Poppy and the Wukong bans. I actually think Renekton ban or Renekton pick here would have been really valuable. And if you go Renekton pick here, then like you can set up for more of this AP version of Kaisa, but Renekton is hella good this game. Because like my issue with the Renekton is like now you are at a point with C9 where you can't actually play Xin Croc to get into the top side, and if Renekton gets ahead, he murders side lane here. And Renekton is hella valuable this game. And like that's part of the reason why like I think it's kind of hard for this pick. I don't know. Like Renekton is really good in everything this game. He's actually like really good at holding the door. And I think C9 playing like into it was really smart. And also like for me, like I mean, if you are going to poke Kaisa, like then you'd have everyone like, oh, why do 100 Thieves like take no lane priority again, right? Like they are getting blown out of the water, and then I mean, Meech has played this build before, right? But I think it would. They're thinking it would overload them a magic damage bit, and yeah, I think that if you ran Croc here, deny it, it would have better setup for this. So that's one idea. But I can also see wanting to get sniper counter pick after how the first couple games went. You can see how hard C9 is playing for topside already. Nice. Jojo swept Raptor Ward. They're trying to protect where Barbara's at. Nice. Quit's playing this really nice, actually. Oh, it's Fleet Yas? Okay. Obviously, the little tempo is very popular on this champ, too. Tells me I never want to Kaisa into that comp. No, you're kind of right. They picked it really early. I mean, they wanted an all-in comp, right? Oh, God. I forgot about this. This was disaster. So I'm trying to see how Barber get the third. Auto 1, auto 2. Oh, did he sneak one in before the stun? Oh, my God. Because like, the fact that River can't fully dismount is what makes this such a fucking problem, right? Yeah, like once River flashes there, it's just GG'd. GG'd for him in that instance. This also means that River can't go impact bot lane, and this is, you are playing Varus not into Kaisa alley. This is what the lane looks like early, you know? And just be able to do. Oh, why are we in River? Oh, I guess they're trying to pinch on mid. Like, they technically get this wave in, but there's a really good ward here from 100 Thieves that spots AOL walking up. So River's able to do this, and then him and Blabber kind of like do-si-do, so they don't go for the crab. So Blabber gets the crab, then AOL just gets pinched, and AOL doesn't flash. Feels bad. And Jojo doesn't flash either. I didn't see how that one exactly played out, but like, I mean, this game is already really, really bad for 100 Thieves. So like, they lose first Drake, which is somewhat expected. But bot's really far behind. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's just so tragic. I mean, for me, this is the strat from C9 here. Oh, this is a really poor ult from Sniper. Like, he doesn't set it up with a slow or anything. Like, you want to harpoon at least, you know? Like, it's such a random ult. And River's just, like, not here, you know? It's like, this team is not on the same page. And he doesn't overheat. He gets one tapped. Again, I think Xin... Oh, and he flashes. It's doomed. I mean, again, I think that, like, Xin plus Renekton fucking destroy Rumble. For me, this is the strat for C9. If I get Renekton ahead, I win both sides, and I think that's the easiest way to win this game. Hey, number one, the block name in NA, Lobby XX. Friendly reminder that you're the GOAT. Stay safe out there. Swede out. Thank you, Swede. As a C9 fan, I don't know how confident I should be. They abuse 100 Thieves. Terrible early games, so it's hard to judge. I mean, I think that you should take some wins away from this. I don't want to take like anything away from C9. I mean, this team has a lot of... Oh my god, he was spotted too? Oh. It was quick, but Jesus, that hurts. I don't want to take anything away from the C9 win. I mean, this is like how 100 Thieves was playing for most of the split, right? Like they were taking scaling and they were fighting really well later on in the game. C9 like still showed off a lot of coordination. Like at the early stages, we know they can do it at the early stages, but oh, this was sad. I mean, this is one where if River used the emo speed just a little bit longer, it would have hit. Jojo instead spaces everything. Fits in the emo spam. That's the true mechanic we look out for here. I don't know. Like I think that C9 like still should take some wins away. Like you can't really argue. Like Berserker's form was really good in this one. Like that's the biggest positive. So Sniper flashed and died, which means that like he just gets rinsed and repeated. Good from C9. But that flash that Sniper burned and died being very punishing now. For me, I think that's the biggest thing, like how well Berserker played. Nice flash from Quid. Oh my. I mean, this team just, you know, as a golfer, this is just what we call a bad day on the course. You know, nothing really went their way. A lot of bad breaks. And Blabber forces Meech Flash to get a kill. Like, Blabber, I know Blabber plays this really well. Because he's going to ult. And then he's going to dash. So, like, Meech has to flash in to finish him off, which was a mistake. So now JoJo has ult, and he just deletes Meech. I mean, Rumble can't be there, though. He doesn't have TP. Like, there's just not a world, you know? And 100 Thieves don't respect that in the end, so... JoJo Ari is very good, yeah. He's a very good Ari player. Silas is JoJo's best champ. Okay, unironically, it's Set. Silas or Set, those are his two best champs. JoJo's Set is so fucking nasty. I love JoJo's Set. If their goal is to fight, he's got to be at the drag. Oh, I mean, technically, they got the drag. No. I don't know. Alright, if they're at the drag, the C9 doesn't have to do anything, and he loses top turret. And you just have to give the drag. Or they have to reassign lanes and get Quid up there. But if Quid's up there, he's playing into fucking Eclipse Croc. I mean, Quid's on Raptors, and then Sniper goes for all in, and they don't see an Ari. And I mean, yeah, I mean, 100. Like, I think Sniper went for a lot of solo plays for sure. Like, again, this isn't like 100 Thieves. Like there wasn't a single like time in regular season where we were questioning if 100 Thieves were playing together or not. You know, like this team, like just they played as 5 for better or worse. And like we just saw so many instances where it's like, are these guys playing as 5? You know. It's a good play from Ayla and River. Obviously, it's necessary, but yeah. What the fuck? This was on live? What the shit? Oh, we actually just missed 20 seconds of game time in the fucking VoD, man. I don't know what's been going on, man. I can't get clean VoDs anymore. There've been so many VoDs that are just like skipping out. It's fucking weird. Yep. Yeah, if Renekton gets up in this side lane, he can just GG it. He can GG the side lanes. It's a really good poke from JoJo. If possible, I think Ayla should look to auto JoJo here. I know that JoJo has ult, but you can force an ult charge. I know Blabber gets out. JoJo doesn't have Mercs. He's a higher value target. I know he can walk out. I mean, regardless, they just get fucking toasted. And that's the fucking series. Also, hold on. There's actually something pretty big. It was leaked to me during the set today, but I actually want to talk about it. River was under the weather. Did you guys hear that River was sick on broadcast, by the way, if you guys are tuning in? Because this was leaked to me like early on that River was sick. I don't know if you guys like anyone that's in broadcast didn't hear that he was sick or not. I was listening to the vast majority of the broadcast. I just want to make sure that I'm covering my bases.
Timing could be great, but like you said, Cummy.
I don't know if it was mentioned before game 1 or not. I have mixed feelings about this being like mentioned on broadcast or not. Where's my fucking bless up? Oh, just fold hands. Uh, have mixed feelings about it being mentioned. Like, I think it's a really big story. I know sometimes, like, players just, like, don't want to have that mentioned. Like, they're private and shit. Like, I get that. Like, it's health, right? But, I don't know, man. Like, it's actually, like, I think it adds a totally different context. Or, like, a lot of different context about 100 Thieves today. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway. Thanks, Gotham Savior, for the kind words. I appreciate it. Oh, actually, one more thing before I get back to work. Fun fact of the night. If Cubby ever recalls with 450 gold to spare, he slams the most efficient item in the store, puts his aviators on, and goes, "They call me Coley XX." Cole is pretty good. It pays for itself, you know? Wait, they get 15 gold on minions now? Yeah, I don't read those. All right, let's get through the rest of this train wreck. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think. I think it's like actually really important context. The fact that like River was under the weather, man. I'm actually like really like I feel really bad. I don't know, like I will say that like I think something I really appreciated with the LCK broadcast, like the short time that I was involved. Like, we had it leaked once or twice to us as a broadcast team, like when a player was under the weather. We're just the promise of, like, hey, like, this player is really not feeling well today. Like, they're going to compete, but, like, maybe, like, you know, don't be too hard on them. I feel like that, like, we never brought up the fact they were under the weather, right? But, like, it was a way to at least, like, you know, try to do our best with that. I don't know, like, if the team... I'm sure that the LCS team knew. I think, like, in a match like this, I mean... I come from traditional sports. I feel like I want context for everything. I feel like that would add a different lens on 100 Thieves today. It kind of felt harsh, like, for 100 Thieves, just be like, wow, this team really didn't show up. When, like, I don't know. I knew, like, River being under the weather sucks. Like, he definitely, you know, didn't have his best series. Everyone will be using an excuse. I mean, I agree. I don't think it's an excuse. It's just a fact. Like, they could have still went out there and won the series, and like if that's the case, it makes it a fucking cool story, you know. I mean, the fact that like 100 Thieves didn't get a full week of practice, like that's important context. I think that really paints today's series in like a different light, personally, you know. Do you know Meech's solo queue ID? I don't at the moment. I don't know. I check 100 Meech NA1. Usually, like some teams like 100 Thieves, it will require you to have the team in your solo queue ID, at least on your main account or like on your ride account. So that's definitely probably one of his. Yeah, I mean, I think given like how strong the Croc is at this point of the game, 100 Thieves like really have no choice, and I really like what C9's doing here and just like trying to pressure with Jojo ult to like just force 100 Thieves back while Renekton side lanes. So yeah, again, like Renekton ruins this game if he gets ahead, and that's exactly what C9 and Fudge did. Meech the grinder with most games played in LCS. That's crazy if that's the case. Because I know like Yawn put up a shit ton of games. Honestly, I thought Yawn played too many games of anything last year of solo queue. I don't know how much he's clocking this year, but I unironically think like a few less games could have helped him a little bit. I feel like some shit probably melds together when you're playing like 700 games in 2 months. Or like a month and a half or whatever the fuck he was doing over in Korea. Yeah, APA plays a shit ton of games. He plays a shit ton of games. He's always played a shit ton of games. Oh boy. Well. That's really good. Use ball first. We like ball first. Try and like for me, like in those, like you use ball first because it's simple. Like if you hit charm, obviously, like they can cleanse flash out. If Use ball first, see if like they bait, or you can bait him with like a similar animation. Exactly what happened there. That's tough to react to, right? Some good RA mechanics. You can play around with like how you enter with that for sure. We always value the bluff, guys. Always value the bluff. I guess RA Charm just sets up not hook, you know. We don't talk about, you know, the
Timing could be great,
the
but
fucking
like you
wombo
said, Cubby,
combos. Rebus Enjoyer, thanks for the follow. Also Gotham Savior, I think I might have missed you with a follow, but I appreciate it as well. Was the kind words. Yeah, because I mean, like, Renekton just ruins this fight. Like, dude, imagine playing into fucking Renekton at this point of the game. Like, this comp is so weak to Renekton, man. Oh my god, the E-buffs go crazy. Yeah, congrats, C9. Gotta be a feel-good series. Very vindicating for C9. Excited to see what they can do later in the weekend. Or I guess next weekend. My bad. Next weekend.